Hello, my Flat Earth family. This is Marilyn Spirit Level, and I was watching this video. It just struck my interest, and let me show you who it is. It's called Mobile Instinct, and up here at the top is the name of the video, what I found on Mount St. Helens 37 years after the eruption. So, I know some people out there, and so I just wanted to take a quick look. And because I had studied this before, and when we get to Spirit Lake, I'll tell you about that. So here he's at Spirit Lake, but it also comes up later. And but I'll tell you about this now. So when the Mount St. Helens which is right over here, so when that erupted, it like sheared all of the trees off and pushed them down in here into Spirit Lake. They came over here first. They were all over on this side, and I think they got blown over this way. But what happens is the wind blew them over. But the trees, since they were taken root ball and all, the heavier root balls went down and sunk down. So over in this area, you're going to find a lot of trees that are standing up from the bottom of the lake. They're standing up. And this is what you find over in Yellowstone National Park when you have the trees standing up through many layers of sediment. And that happened in the world flood. So we're talking about mud floods and all that. But this is in solution. This mud is in solution, and it's sediment. There's also something else about Mount St. Helens is up in here, there was the very hot mud was down in here, and some of the ice from the snow, big chunks of ice, were underneath, and the mud covered over the big chunks of ice. So then when they melted so quickly, they like exploded, and then a gorge was cut down through the mud, and it looks like a mini microcosm of the Grand Canyon. So when we look at these kinds of things, you see how on a bigger scale, like a world flood, whereas Mount St. Helens was just very small, and yet it showed us the layers, and it was all like at one time. These things, sediment layers, happened with just one event. It was not over millions of years. So you can see how the Grand Canyon could have been formed by a similar event on a much larger scale. Just by sediment, because that's how sediment works. It settles in layers. So, and the Bible does say that the waters assuaged, which means they went back and forth, or else around. On the flat plane, it would come around several times, more than one time. So we are looking at Spirit Lake, and then there will be sediment bogs underneath the water. So this mini microcosm of this mini Grand Canyon that was formed, the Grand Canyon, you can see how that could have been washed out in a week's time and formed the Grand Canyon. It's really just the water rushing out from the Grand Lake because the Kaibab upwarp broke through. I mentioned this before, but if you want to know more about it, go to Kent Hovind. He has a lot of good material there, and don't dismiss him totally because of his globe Earth beliefs. You don't know what happened. You just don't know. So maybe he's just afraid to buck the government at this point in his life, and I might not even blame him for that. But I prefer that he don't say anything at all, but he did. So just forgive him for that, and go and see what his other research is, because it's still very good. He has a lot on evolution too. So this young man is going around and looking at St. Helens, and 37 years later. And here his name is Mobile Instinct. Now, there's a picture of, here's Mount St. Helens right in here. And then there's Spirit Lake. And let's go down a little further. There's again the Spirit Lake. There's a, I wanted to, see, it was all over at this side to begin with. And then the floating logs just blew over to the other side. There's he had a before and after shot. And I'm not getting it really good. Why can't I get that? Ah, there we go. Very, very good. Okay. So yeah, this is what it looks like after, and this is the before. And all these trees are gone. Just scorched the earth. So let me see here. Ah, this is what I want to show you. This is what really piqued my interest, because look, it's a mud flood. But this happened like in a very short time. This is an A-frame house, and you can see that there's a good, like, I don't know, 6 to 8, 10 feet that's covered over in mud. And this young man goes in this little A-frame house, and this is, 3 miles from St. Helens, Kidd Valley, buried A-frame house. And it's right up to the edge of the roof there. Let me see what that looks like. He does go inside. There's a picture of it. Yeah, it's a good 6-10 feet. If you 6 feet to the inside on the floor maybe, and then outside it would have been lower than that. Of course, it's all deteriorated. It's all wood structure. It's not like it's stone like some of the buildings that we have seen. And there's one part of it. Or is that a barn? That's something else. I don't know. But there he goes inside. Now here's another thing. There's a truck. And look, here the tires are like sunk in the mud. This is not the worst of them though. There's some other stuff that was sunk in the mud. Or the mud came and enveloped it. Let me see if I can't go ahead. Here it is. This is a bulldozer. And look, that's like all the way up. So the tracks are down here. So that's quite a bit. That's a good 5 feet there. And look, there's some other things that were covered. And all the foliage is starting to come back. You should go and look at this guy's channel, maybe subscribe just to, help him out. And that's a piece of equipment. Believed to be a photo of this truck taken by a helicopter shortly after the 1980 eruption. Okay. Okay. So then, going down here a little bit further, another truck. there's something else I want to show you. Okay. Oh, here it is. Sorry. There's this, like a cave, and here it turns out to be, it's a ape cave lava tube discovered around 1950, believed to be from an eruption 2,000 years ago, almost 2.5 miles long, named after a local exploring group called the St. Helens Apes. And he just goes walking through there and does that kind of thing. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but you can go to his channel and watch this. It's not real thrilling. There's one more thing I wanted to show you down near the end, which I thought I'd combine the mud flood ideas with what's down here at the end. That's one of the rivers that was like filled in with mud. So he walks up to the top. And it takes him quite a while, and he's winded, so he's taking a break here. And then he finally gets up to the top. Now look what you see. Okay, I'm going to go back just a little here. Okay, there is, see this right here? That's a mountain right there. Oh, you went too fast. Okay, here's a, oh, it's curved. It's curved because of the lens on the camera. I think he's going to hit it again. No. There was a good shot of it back at, I think it was 18 or something. I think that was where I first saw it. Let me find it. There's one of the mountains. Now, I think that is Mount Hood. Okay, I think this is looking south because of Spirit Lake. All right, 1957. All right, let me go back here to this thing. And I couldn't tell by the Mount St. Helens, and Spirit Lake is north, isn't it? South Fork River, north, and I think, oh, I should have done this. I'm so sorry. Aerial shot of, oh, no, not that. Google Maps. Mount St. Helens. So if I go to Mount St. Helens on Google Maps, let's see where. Oh, phooey. Back out a little bit. I want to see where Spirit Lake is. Aha! So it looks as though Mount St. Helens, Spirit Lake is north of Mount St. Helens. So it erupted north. Is that right? All right. Now let's see. All right, here is Mount Hood. Here's Mount Adams. And here's Mount Rainier. Adams, Rainier, and I think Olympia is up here somewhere. Now look, that's Olympic National Park. So Mount Olympia should be up in there. So I think the two closest ones are All right, so here's Mount Hood, and that's south, but that should be opposite of Spirit Lake. Which is north. So looking over from St. Helens past Spirit Lake, it'll take you right to Rainier. Yeah, right there. Sorry. Mount St. Helens, Spirit Lake, and there's Rainier. Yep, it's almost a direct line. Yep. Okay, so we go back here to this video he's got. We'll go back to okay, so here's Mount St. Helens. Here's Spirit Lake. So that's Mount Rainier right there. So I looked that up, and it's Mount Rainier is 80 miles from Mount St. Helens. So that should be 4,266 feet of curvature. And we go a little bit further. And he swings around, and here, there's Mount Hood at 107 miles, which should be 7,632 feet of curvature. But look, there it is, right there. What are we going to do? So I thought, okay, I just went and looked up some pictures, and I got this one. And look, it's all above the cloud cover. And you have these three mountains in the view. It's Rainier, Adams, and Hood, and St. Helens in the distance. Now, that doesn't make sense to me. Where would he be standing if Helens was in the distance when Helens is between Rainier and next to Adams? Between Hood and Rainier is Helens. So it should be really Hood that's in the distance. Depending on which is which, but you can't tell which is which. But I was at a place in Washington because I have a friend there. My mother and my sister and I went, and my daughter and I went out. And she took us to a place where you could see 5 mountains all at the same time. So I was at a very similar place. So back here, right back here is that other mountain. And that's probably Hood. And that's probably Adam, Rainier. I don't know. It's hard to tell which ones they are because it doesn't look like it's the same situated on the... Maybe this is Rainier. That's Adam, Helens, and back there's Hood. Well, anyway, we can see way too far, guys. So we definitely know. But I just thought this was very interesting, this little video. And it's a 24-minute video. And his channel is called Mobile Instinct, just like it says on his little introduction. So I hope you enjoyed this. Anytime you see little things like this, it's nice to share. And I didn't have any other way of sharing it to my YouTube friends without making a little video. So here, Mikey Smith just went and called one of the school superintendents from the school district in Canada, and he had a little conversation. So go check that out too. Horizontally Opposed on YouTube. All right, have a great day. Talk to you soon. Bye.